Today in math, we're going to continue working on our story problems again. So you're going to need your number bond sheet. And remember, you can just draw that on a piece of paper or you can print that from here. You're going to need your whiteboard so you can write these number sentences, or your mom can draw you out some of these on a piece of paper, or you can print out a page like this from Seesaw, but you need to have some place where you can write your fact families, and you need to have a number bond where we can act out these stories today. So you need to get those. Today I'm going to use my red and yellow counters is what I decided to use today instead of my teddy bears. You can use whatever you'd like. But find something that you can use so that we can act out these story problems, because you're going to find there's going to be something missing that we have to figure out in these story problems today. So go gather up all your stuff, pause this video, go do your gathering, and then come back and we'll do some story problems together. All right, so we're going to pretend today that my red and yellow counters are horses. So I'm going to say that there were some horses eating grass in the meadow, and 5 more horses joined them, and now there are 8 horses in the meadow. Well, how many were in there first? I don't know. I told you there were some horses, but I don't know how many were there first, do I? So, how can I figure out how many were there first? Well, let's think what we know. We know 5 more joined them. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those will be my 5 that joined them. So I'm going to turn them all to red. Now, how many were there first? I still don't know. But I do know at the end of the story that altogether there were 8. So I have 5, so I'm going to count up to 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I know how many horses were there. Altogether there were 8. So now I can just move these apart and I can see here's my 5 that joined. So I'll slide them over here. So I know that these must be the horses that were in the meadow first. So I'll move them over here. And now I'm ready to write my number sentences that go with this. So I want you to pause the video and I want you to write your number sentences. Okay, let's check and see if your number sentences look like mine. My first number sentence started with 3, because I have 3 counters here, plus 5 equals 8. We know we're there all together. My next number sentence, I did my switcheroo. 5 plus 3 equals 8. Now I'm going to write my subtraction sentences for this fact family. So stop and go and do those. Okay, let's check and see if your subtraction sentences look like mine. We always begin with the whole thing on a subtraction sentence. 8, the whole thing, minus 3 that were there first equals 5 that joined. And then my next one says 8 minus 5 equals 3. Let's do a different sentence. So let's clean your board. Okay, in this story, I'm going to pretend that my counters are monkeys at the zoo, because they're fun to watch. And so let's think about some monkeys. I saw some monkeys eating bananas at the zoo. I saw 3 monkeys eating peanuts. Now there were 7 monkeys at the zoo. How many were eating bananas? Well, I don't know. The story didn't tell us, did it? It just said, I saw some monkeys eating bananas. So let's think about this. Let's think about what we do know. We do know that 3 monkeys were eating peanuts. So I'm going to get 3 counters. 1, 2, 3. And those will be my 3 monkeys that were eating peanuts. Now, let's think about this. There were 7 monkeys all together. So I know I have 3 here, so I'm going to add some more counters till I get to 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 monkeys all together. I've got 3 that were eating peanuts, so I'm going to slide those 3 over because we know that part. And now we can see the part of how many were eating bananas. 1, 2, 3, 4 were eating bananas. So we have found out the missing part of that story. So now let's write our fact family for this story. I want you to write the whole fact family. Do your ones that have addition and do your ones that have subtraction, right? The whole fact family. So stop this video and do that, and then we'll check them together. Okay, let's look and see if your number sentences look the same as mine. Did you guys notice I was wearing my witchy finger today? I love this witchy finger with that pretty pink fingernail. Well, here we go. Let's look at our number sentences. Our first one, we said 4 plus 3 equals 7. Do you have that on your board? I hope so. And then we did a switcheroo. We just switched those around because it doesn't matter which one we put first. 3 plus 4 equals 7. Then it's time to do our subtraction sentences for this fact family. And we know subtraction sentences, it does matter what we put first. And so we always start with the whole. So the whole this time was 7. 7 minus 4 equals 3. And 7 minus 3 equals 4. So this is the fact family for the numbers 4, 3, and 7. Remember, a fact family has the same 3 numbers that are used over and over. We're just using them in different ways to make different number sentences. Okay, clean your board. We're going to do one more story. I'm going to do a story about jelly beans because, you know, it's almost Easter. And jelly beans are a fun candy that sometimes we get at Easter, and so I thought it might be a fun thing to think about is some jelly beans. So let's think about some jelly beans. I had some pink jelly beans because those are really good, and I had some yellow jelly beans. I had 4 yellow jelly beans. I had some pink jelly beans, but I had 9 jelly beans in all. Now, do you know how many pink ones I had? Nope, I didn't tell you. So let's see if we can figure that out. We know we had 4 yellow jelly beans. So I'm going to use my counters. 1, 2, 3, 4 for my 4 yellow jelly beans. Now, how many pink ones? Well, we know there were 9 in all. So I have 4, so I'm going to count on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now we can figure out how many jelly beans that we had. How many were pink? We know there were 4 yellow ones, so I'm going to slide those 4 yellow ones over. And now I can see how many I had that were pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is my other part, the part that was missing. Okay, now we're going to write our fact family for this story. So stop the video and write your fact family about my jelly beans. Okay, let's check and see if your number sentences look like mine. My first number sentence says 4, because I know I had 4 yellow, plus 5 equals 9. My next number sentence is a switcheroo. 5 plus 4 equals 9. And then we have our subtraction sentences, and we know they have to start with the whole thing. 9 minus 4, those 4 yellow ones, equals 5 pink ones. And 9 minus 5 equals 4. Okay, now you're going to do a story by yourself here on Seesaw. It's going to be a story about frogs. It's going to be a story where there are some frogs in a pond and some are on the bank of the pond. And you're going to have to figure out how many are in those places. So the first thing you'll need to do is draw a pond, and then you'll need to draw the bank, the side of the pond. And then I have some frogs on there for you to move into the places where they go. And when you finish that, then you will do your fact family for that story. So right here on Seesaw, you can do that story about those frogs for me.